Hey everybody, Joy here. It is a wonderful Sunday morning in Kingston, Oklahoma. And I wanted to show you guys all the fun stuff that I got when I went to the expo with Terry. Oh, we had so much fun. I did not think I was going to get to go. Terry was supposed to be out of town. And I wasn't sure if I could get the sitter to come stay with Mom. And I wasn't sure if Jerry would stay with her at night. And so I had just pretty much just erased the idea out of my head of going to the expo, the Sewing and Quilt EXPO in Arlington. But I really wanted to go. And of course, when you go at the last minute, you can't take any classes. But I still wanted to go, and Terry's looking for a long arm. She's ready to buy a long arm. And you know, those shows have so many long arms. They had every long arm company there that I can think of except for A1. We didn't see A1. They had Gamma. They had, is it called Lenovo? I think it's called Lenovo. Not sure. It's the new one that everybody's raving about now. They had the Handy Quilter. They had the Bernina. God, did you know Bernina has a new long arm, a big long arm with like a 24 or 26 inch space? It's a beautiful machine, but it's kind of different. It uses regular sewing machine needles, so I guess it's more like a regular sewing machine, and you kind of thread it the same way from the front. But the man there made Terry a terrific offer on it. I mean, he came, no sales tax, came down several $1,000s, deliver it for free, set it up for free, blah, 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 all these things. She didn't buy it, but she did get a really good offer. Sadly, she wanted to go to the APQS booth because she's been wanting to get one like mine, and I've got a Millennium. But the girl that owned that store wasn't there. Her name is Connie Keller. She's the one that sold me my machine 10 years ago. And she wasn't there. She had to leave because of a death in the family. And the girls that were there could not answer any of the questions that Terry had about financing and stuff. So that was kind of sad. But fortunately, Dawn Kavanaugh, I texted Dawn when I got home and I said, oh my God, will you please call Terry and let her ask questions so she'll know, you know, how to compare the APQS to the Bernina. And so she did. She was really, really sweet. And so Terry still hasn't made up her mind. And we're just waiting. Terry came over yesterday to put a quilt on. She's going to be back this afternoon to finish her quilt. You want to see it? It's really pretty. Let me turn the camera around real quick. You're going to have to watch me walk. I just want to show it to you. She is the queen of braids. You guys know that. I'm going to take this off here real quick. There it is. She's probably got 8 or 10 quilts ready to quilt. So that is for a friend of hers. And she was right in the middle of putting it on yesterday. And she had to leave to go pick somebody up at the airport. So anyway, we had a blast. We spent the night in a hotel. And it was real close to the convention center. I mean, a mile, if even that away. And there was a, what do you call it? A something grass, salt grass restaurant right next door. And so if you saw my blog, you'll see a picture of my skinny friend Terry in the parking lot. I had her pose. She's lost 20 pounds, you guys. She looks amazing. Anyway, we went there and we had steaks. I had a big steak. Terry had a steak this big. That's part of her diet. She can't eat anything. So anyway, we only got there like at noon on Thursday. And so we just had Thursday afternoon and all classes were full. We couldn't take anything except one class. But we both, she didn't want to take it, but I said, yes, you're taking it with me. So we went to the what to do with a panel class. And I thought it was going to have to do more with, you know, making a quilt out of a panel, but it didn't. It had totally to do with how to make purses out of a panel. And there, most of them I'm like, I wasn't too excited, but I love the one she made out of this. Now she made a tote bag, and I don't want a tote bag. I want a purse. But see these butterflies? Aren't they pretty? Super colorful and pretty. And so basically what the lady does is she folds it up and turns the top of it, you know, you fold it and you sew it and you put the big pleated bottom on it, and then it's a tote bag when you get all done. Okay? Put a handle on it. And so that's not what I'm going to do with it, but you can watch and see what I do. So what all did I buy? I've got a little clip of my most expensive purchase, and I'll stick it in here somewhere. But something else that I bought was from Kathy Ruddy. And Kathy Ruddy, if you read my blog, you can read the story about Kathy Ruddy. She is something else. I went by her booth, and as always, if the person in charge is away from their booth, the people that they leave there don't ever know anything. And I would have bought a lot more stuff if Kathy had been there, but she wasn't there, and the girl that was there couldn't answer any of my questions, and so I knew about this thing because I bought it before from her. And it's a surgical cutter, I guess, that doctors use. And so Kathy talked about how you get, let me get up close and I'll show you, how it's just a piece of really thin metal and hard to hold on to and easy to disappear. So she said, get popsicle sticks and make a handle for it, and so I did, but then I still couldn't find it very good, so I wrapped some tape around it, so hopefully I won't lose it on the table. But it's a super, super, super sharp blade, and when you have a serge seam, you just, because you can never find that thread you're supposed to pull to get the serging out, right? I never can. So you just run this down the seam, and it just all comes apart. So anyway, I really love that. I wish I bought more than one, but I kind of was mad at the girl because she didn't know anything. And then here's the other thing I bought. It's called Specialty Thread Spool Pin Adapter. And so what it does, you can see on the back of it, it makes it so your thread goes straight into your needle, and it doesn't get twisted, and it doesn't shred, and it doesn't break. And it sews much, much easier, and you just sit it on top of your sewing machine, and you can put 2 spools on it that then spin the proper way to keep your thread under control. So I was glad to get that. Terry bought one of these. Terry bought one of these, and Terry bought one of these. But she didn't buy the design wall like I did, because I gave her a thing I bought from, who are the 2 ladies? Fons and Porter. I bought it from Fons and Porter years ago, and I had never used it because you have to hang it on a wall. And these walls are they're just too covered up. There's no wall left. So Terry's got that in her sewing room. So anyway, I got that design wall, and I'll plug it in right here, design wall. Okay, here it is. This is the design wall. On sale, I paid $130 for it. But what you do is you get this big piece of flannel. It comes in 4 different sizes, maybe more, and you build this frame. The frame is just a teeny weeny skinny little thing, and the frame breaks down and folds up into like 2-foot pieces. And well, look at the cute little cars I'm putting on the baby's quilt. How fun is that? I just love it. That's the ambulance and the police car. So anyway, this is my new that I bought at the expo. See here, it's got the casing on the side, and then the bars, so you can see in the mirror how the bars go behind it. It's just really cool. And then it has the little stand. So if anybody wants this, I'll try to find out who I got it from, because you can order it online, of course. And you can just lift it. You can just lift it and move it around. And of course, I've got 2 quilts up there. If I just had the one, I wouldn't have it hanging on the floor. So anyway, that's that. Okay, now that you've seen the design wall, that's all the stuff I bought at the expo. So all of you that are waiting to see my Spools quilt, and I talk about it, so let me put that clip in right now. And here it is, my quilt that was totally copied by somebody at that expo. Terry and I could not believe our eyes. The exact same batik look with all the different color batik spools. I just could not believe it, except instead of having the thread spill like this does and having the thread go around so you can see it. See, I started to just do inside the spool. That's what the other lady did, but you couldn't see it. So I started going outside the spool to show the threads going around, and it's coming off, and it's spilling. On her quilt, at the expo, all of these plain blocks had a computer design. They were all exactly the same, and they all had a computer design in them. And she had flowers around it, but she had different flowers. She had a different set from Edited Sitar than I have. So anyway, this is my completed quilt. And there's another one just like it. Much to my dismay. Well, not really. A lot of people said, oh my God, I'm going to make a quilt like that. And evidently somebody actually did and entered it in that show in Arlington. So once I get it bound and everything, I'll show it to you again. But for right now, it's on the floor here, and it's going to be there for a while. Oh, and I have to tell you this. My husband sits here and watches the big screen at night, and he was sitting right here, looking over here, and I was sitting right there next to him. See, I sit on the watermelons and he sits on that. Those are practice quilts from when I first got my long arm. And he looked at this and he said, Joy, I cannot believe you missed this. He said, really? He said, I hope you don't get mad at me, but my God, there's a huge mistake in that quilt. And I said, what is that? And he said, can't you see that spools turned the wrong way? I said, Jerry, the number one reason I made this quilt was because I loved this spool turned the wrong way. Second reason was because I loved the scissors up at the top of it. And he just insisted that it was a mistake and I should have fixed it. So I had to go get Editor's book and show him the picture that that's how it was actually supposed to be. Don't you just love husbands? I'm going to go find something he did and point out something. Of course, he never makes a mistake, so I guess that won't work. Anyway, that's my quilt, guys. Okay, you saw the Spools quilt. Like it or hate it, that's it. It just needs a binding. And you know, I forgot to pay attention to what binding. I was so shocked. I wonder if I took a picture of it with my cell phone. I might have, I don't know. I'll have to check that out. I don't know what she put on it for binding. Anyway, the next thing is, I saw two women that knew me from my blog, and one of them was sitting behind me in the class, but I had to go up and talk to the teacher after the class, excuse me, and so I didn't get a chance to turn around and talk to her and find out who she was. But she said, I knew you. And so then a couple others emailed me and said, oh, we're going to be at the expo, but we probably won't see you there. We're going to be in class, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't see those people there. But then I was wandering. Terry went back yesterday morning, Friday morning, and went straight to the Bernina thing because she'd looked at the Bernina the day before. And so she said, I'm going to go talk to that Bernina guy and see what kind of deal he can make me. I said, well, I'm going to go wander around. So I went wandering around, and I went around the corner, and I came to the AccuQuilt booth. And I was just walking in front of it, and this lady said, oh, I know you. You're that lady with the vlog. I just love you. I watch you every night. Blah, blah, blah. And so I walked up. And if I can figure out how to put a picture of her in this video, I know there's a way you can do it. So I'll try to put, I took a picture of she and I together. But her name was Karen, and we started talking. We must have talked for 15 minutes. We could be talking still. You know women. Just talk. Aren't women nice? Quilting women, some women aren't, no. But quilting women, they are all so nice. So many of the ladies had their husbands there, dragging their husbands up and down the halls. You know, almost had mine there. But we were standing in line waiting to get something for lunch. Terry and I were. It was a long line. And it was Terry's daughter's birthday. And she said, oh my gosh, we've got to call Katie and sing her happy birthday. So she got Katie on the phone. And so I said, oh, I'll sing happy birthday with you. So I got up next to her so we could sing into the phone together. And another lady came and another lady came, and the ladies in the line started singing, and so many people were singing happy birthday. It was so cute. And then later on, this man came up to me and he said, oh my gosh, you sing really good. Do you sing in the choir? I thought obviously he was listening to Terry, not me, but Terry can sing. Anyhow, it was cute and it was fun. I just love the people at Quilt and Sew. They're always such nice, friendly ladies, and they love to talk, which of course, I love to talk. So anyhow, do I have anything else? Let me look at my list that I made. saw the quilt like mine. We sang happy birthday, told you about Terry and the Long Arms. I met a really nice girl named Karen, and I took a purse class with butterflies. I think that's it. And I have to get back to making my baby's quilt. And pretty soon I got to make my mom's lunch. So I think that's all I have to tell you today. Hey, you know, my favorite preacher, John Hagee, last week and the week before and this week, he's talking about, is there a family in your house? First week was husbands and fathers. Second week was children. Today was mothers and wives. Super, super good. So if you ever care to listen to some really good sermons, www.getv.org, and I think if you go down to archives or something, you can see the recent sermons. Or it's going to be on again in 10 minutes. Of course, this is going to be tomorrow before you ever see this. So anyway, I'm just so excited that Terry and I got a chance to go to the expo, even though it was very last minute. We have the best time when we go on road trips together. I got to journal them. It's just, we always have the very best time. Anyway, so long for now. And when Terry's here this afternoon, maybe I'll get her to talk to you. Bye for now.